Welcome to my channel Young and the Restless Official, where you can get news about. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow, and I am your buddy. Now let's get started. Young and the Restless weekly spoilers find Daniel Romalotti heartbroken after receiving horrible news during the week of September 30th to October 4th, 2024. Meanwhile, someone steps up and two people grow closer on YNR. Take a look at the latest spoilers for the CBS soap opera. Young and the Restless weekly spoilers. Daniel Romalotti receives devastating news about Heather Stevens. This week, Young and the Restless weekly spoilers see Daniel Romalotti searching for his girlfriend, Heather Stevens. Recently, Sharon Newman killed Heather during a bipolar blackout. Then, she used Heather's phone to text Daniel and tell him she was leaving town for a few days. Indeed, that doesn't sit well with Daniel. So, this week, he starts looking for her. Later, he gets terrible news. No doubt, he finds out that Heather is dead. After that, Young and the Restless spoilers say he struggles to accept a new reality. Most likely, life without Heather. While Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziade, and his daughter, Lucy Romalotti, Lily Brooks O'Brien, struggle to process Heather Stevens' Vale Bloom death, it seems that news of her murder starts to spread. Coming up, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, consoles Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. So, she must hear the tragic news about Heather. Additionally, Phyllis Summers begins a new journey. So, she might vow to get to the bottom of what happened to Heather Stevens. Meanwhile, on Young and the Restless, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, struggles. However, she continues to cover her tracks and tries to appear normal. Most likely, she will hear that Heather's body has been found and will need to act surprised. Young and the Restless spoilers, Sally closer to Billy. Elsewhere, on YNR, Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, are sympathetic toward each other. They spend more time together next week and lean on one another. Soon, it may turn into something more. Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, already suggested to Sally that she get revenge by sleeping with Billy. But, Sally shut that down fast. However, the more time they spend together they may find themselves drawn to each other, especially if alcohol is involved. So they could very well heat up soon on Young and the Restless. Meanwhile, Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, is still trying to convince Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, to give their relationship another chance. Later, Victor Newman, Eric Braden, questions Victoria Newman's, Amelia Heinley, loyalty regarding Billy. After that, Victor and Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, put their heads together. Also, Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, outmaneuvers Audra. Then, Victor catches both of them off guard and presents them with a new challenge. Elsewhere, Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, gets a cryptic message. Then, Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, develops a strategy with his wife, Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters. YNR is on absolute fire these days. Keep watching to see how Daniel Romalotti handles the tragic news about Heather on the CBS daytime drama. The sun rose over Genoa City, casting a warm glow on the bustling streets as the residents prepared for another eventful week. In the midst of the everyday chaos, one storyline was about to take center stage. Daniel Romalotti Jr. was about to receive news that would change his life forever. A flashback to the past. Before diving into the present, it's essential to understand Daniel's journey. Once a rebellious teen with a penchant for trouble, Daniel had grown into a devoted father and a man striving to rebuild his life after years of chaos. His past relationships, notably with Lily and the tragic loss of his daughter, had shaped him into the caring, thoughtful man he had become. The unexpected phone call. As Daniel mixed colors on his palette, his phone buzzed, breaking the serene atmosphere of his studio. The name flashing on the screen made his heart drop. It was his mother, Phyllis Summers. Their relationship had been rocky, especially after the fallout from her schemes that often landed them both in trouble. However, she had been trying to rebuild their bond, and Daniel had tried to be understanding. "Hey, Mom," he answered, masking his apprehension with a cheerful tone. "Daniel," Phyllis said, her voice laced with an uncharacteristic seriousness. "I need you to sit down." His stomach twisted. The last time she had used that tone, it had been to tell him about the accident that had nearly taken her life. "What's going on?" he asked, suddenly feeling a sense of dread creeping in. "I just got off the phone with your father," she replied, her voice trembling. "It's about your sister, Summer." Daniel's heart raced. Summer had always been a bright light in their family, a force of nature who had fought through her own battles. "What happened?" he pressed, anxiety rising with each passing second. "There's been an accident," Phyllis choked out, her words hanging heavy in the air. "She's in the hospital." The rush to the hospital. Without waiting for more details, Daniel sprang into action. His mind raced with possibilities, none of them good. He grabbed his jacket and dashed out of the studio, thoughts of his sister's safety consuming him. As he drove through the streets of Genoa City, memories of their childhood flashed before him, the laughter, the bickering, the moments that had forged their bond. Arriving at the hospital, Daniel rushed to the emergency room. He found Phyllis pacing nervously, her face pale and drawn. The sight of her anguish sent a wave of fear crashing over him. "What do we know?" he demanded, his voice tight with concern. "Not much," Phyllis replied, wringing her hands. "They're running tests. The doctor should be out soon." As they waited, Daniel's mind spiraled. What if it was serious? What if he lost her? Their relationship had been strained in recent years, but they had always managed to find their way back to each other. The thought of losing Summer before they could reconcile was unbearable. The doctor's arrival. After what felt like an eternity, a doctor finally approached them, his expression serious. "Mr. Romolati, Ms. Summers, I'm Dr. Patel. I'm sorry to inform you that your sister has sustained significant injuries in the accident. She's stable for now, but we need to keep her under observation." The news hit Daniel like a physical blow. "What kind of injuries?" he demanded, his heart racing. "She has a concussion, several broken ribs, and we're monitoring her for internal injuries. The next 48 hours are critical," Dr. Patel explained, his tone sympathetic yet professional. Daniel felt the world around him blur as he processed the information. He had always envisioned being there for his sister, supporting her through life's ups and downs. But now, he faced a reality where he might lose her. "Can we see her?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "Just for a moment," the doctor replied, guiding them to her room. In Summer's room. Walking into Summer's hospital room, Daniel's heart sank. She lay unconscious, connected to monitors that beeped rhythmically. The sight of her vulnerable state tore at his heart, the memories of their childhood flooding back. He moved closer, taking her hand in his, feeling the warmth of her skin against his. "Summer, it's me, Daniel," he said softly, his voice trembling. "I'm here. You're going to be okay. You have to be okay."